Welcome to Granada. We made it here. It was about an hour and a half drive from Malaga, and this is our final stop in this whole Andalusian tour. And for the next day and a half, we're gonna spend some time here trying to explore this beautiful city, the last stand against the Christianity during the Moorish times. We'll explore the old Moorish city, we'll explore the Jewish quarter, and most importantly, tomorrow we'll be going into the palace fortress itself, the Alhambra, actually not arguably, the most impressive building in Spain. But it all starts here. We are now in Alcaicería, the old silk market. This was the most important product that Granada had to sell. That's why they were so rich. And these few streets here were the exact beating heart of Granada for over 500 years. So let's go explore for a little bit, but most importantly after this, we're gonna go straight to grab some food, because even though Granada is part of Andalusia, they do have some of their own typical dishes.
On our way to lunch, we stopped by Carrera del Darro, which is supposedly one of the most beautiful streets in the world. And this river Darro flows mostly under central Granada. This is one of the few spots where you can see it basically above.
We ordered some food. Laura ordered something off the children's menu. They made a mistake, they brought her a different dish, so we're just waiting for her dish now. I ordered a remojon granadino, which is Granada's signature salad. I can see here some pickled red onion, orange, some cod, and there should be some hard-boiled egg under this yellow emulsion. I'm not sure if that's meant to be like a local olive oil mayonnaise type of thing or not. We'll find out together. So this is my dish. Beautiful setting over here. Granada is, I think, the only place in Andalusia or in Spain actually, where if you order a drink, you get a tapa with it. It's kind of included in prices. Sometimes the drinks here are a bit more expensive than other parts of Spain, exactly for this reason. So we did order some beer, some wine, all this stuff, and they did bring us a bit of extra cheese. It's not mayonnaise. There's potatoes as well. It's really not heavy, it's very summery. I love it.
I did not order off the children's menu, as Horia said. I ordered chicken strips, and they came vegan instead of actual chicken. So I ordered again, and I ordered a chicken salad now. But it was not off the kids' menu.
But initially it was chicken strips, French fries, and ketchup.
Well, I did not know if they would come in that form. So this is sort of a Caesar salad now, with anchovies, chicken strips.
Actually looks really nice.
Yeah, and boiled egg.
Happy?
Yeah, really happy.
Yeah.
I was starving. I was very, I was starting to become hungry.
Aggressive.
Hangry. After a delicious late lunch, we walked into Tetería El Bañuelo, which is a Moorish-style tea house. It's one of the most famous ones here in Granada, with low cushions, a beautiful view outside. We chose to stay inside just because the outside is very, very popular now. But I'm really liking this indoor-outdoor experience because the door is open, so we can feel a breeze too. And we ordered some tea and some Arabic sweets.
So this is a very Moroccan style type of place, and they have loads of delicious looking pastries, and I ordered 3 of them. I got pistachio baklava, something else is not a baklava but similar with coconut and peanuts, and another one that's called flor de pistachio, which is apparently similar to a baklava but not quite as sweet.
Okay.
So we'll see. Oh, this is really nice. It's still too hot, but it's really nice. It's called Granada Romantica, and it has, I think, a bit of white tea and pomegranate, roses, and something else. It smells really nice too. That's the
peanut one?
peanut coconut one.
Yeah, and this is, I think, the one that's not a baklava necessarily, but it's with pistachio.
Yeah.
And I think this is the baklava
Yeah.
with pistachio.
That's
Yeah,
the one.
I'll try this one because I love pistachio. And baklava as well. It has 1,000 layers of pastry. It's very good. It's very syrupy.
Alright, let's see this other bad boy. That's really nice.
So when coming to Granada, apparently coming to a tetería, so a tea house is a must.
That was one of my favorite experiences in Andalusia.
It was the most Moroccan experience I could experience so far.
I think I read a review on Google about this place saying that this place is the most Moroccan thing outside of Morocco.
Okay, so okay.
I'm not sure if that's true, but
So I've never been to Morocco, but okay.
not yet.
Not yet.
Really nice stuff, very good prices. And just now, as we're walking back, we got to see our first really good glimpse of the Alhambra, the palace fortress of Granada. Very impressive.
Granada is best understood as a layered city. Iberian foundations, Roman remains, Jewish scholarship, Islamic urbanism, Gitano culture, Catholic institutions, and a modern university city all occupying the same relatively small landscape.
We are in the middle of nature right now. Continuing with the Moorish / Andalusian Arabic history, we now arrive to Carmen de los Mártires. Very beautiful space.
Gorgeous. So a Carmen is to Granada what the Riyadh is to Marrakech, meaning that it's a garden with peacocks even here, with fountains, and it's very peaceful and very shady.
Yes, and it smells great.
Yes, it does.
Okay, we're having a hard time continuing to film because we're trying to avoid filming all the children photo shoots that are taking place in here. So as we can only assume, these are probably communion photo shoots. Like it's kids kind of that age, so there's tens of them. I don't know what's happening. I mean,
in suits and dresses, and it's a Wednesday, so I don't know. It's a kind of.
I mean, it's a beautiful place. So the thing with these Carmens in Granada, this one, Carmen de los Mártires, is the grandest of them all. And the beautiful part is that it's free. Mm-hmm. So it's essentially a really, really nice park, because it's big enough for you to actually have a decent walk-in with beautiful architecture, loads of really nice fountains, and quite a few viewpoints over Granada.
A lot of palm trees. And going up here, I kind of noticed how layered Granada actually is.
Yeah, it is very hilly.
Yeah, it is.
So we are now on one of the hills, and we're gonna go for sunset, because sunset is approaching on a completely different hill.
Yeah, so for sunset you get 3 viewpoints, I think, 3 hills, right?
Yeah,
and
I
we're
don't know
gonna
how
go
many
to
there are, but yeah.
One of them right now.
Yes. It's probably the most well-known. I think it's called Mirador de San Nicolás. The history behind this place, it is called de los Mártires, of the Martyrs, is because this used to be a prison for Christians. This is before the Reconquista, while this was still Moorish.
This garden?
Well, the villa itself, not the villa, but like the palace.
It's not too shabby.
It's a nice place to be.
Imprisoned?
But yeah, after it was reconquered by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, this became a monastery. Just bear in mind, if you come here, it's only open between 6 and 8 p.m. And also there's another 2 or 3 hour window in the earlier
in the morning, right?
Yeah, earlier in the day. So it's not open all day long. It's really, really, really close to the Alhambra.
Worth it.
Definitely worth it. So I panicked a bit because I thought sunset was coming, but actually we do have 1 more hour. So I almost ordered a taxi to take us what would otherwise just now be about a 30-minute walk to the viewpoint. So I learned that you can order a taxi with your Uber app.
Oh.
So you go with your Uber, you only have one option of taxi, and that's it.
The Albaicín still follows a largely medieval Moorish street plan. Its steep lanes, tiny squares, enclosed houses, and irregular layout make it one of southern Spain's best preserved examples of Hispano-Muslim urban design, later layered with Renaissance and Baroque buildings.
We made it to what is probably the most famous view in Spain. Behind us you can see the gorgeous Alhambra, and behind it you can actually see, maybe now not so much anymore, but you can see the Sierra Nevadas, still with snow on the peaks in April. Quite impressive. And right now in front of us is the Albaicín, which is the Moorish city here in Granada.
Yeah, this is a stunning viewpoint. However, if you want to avoid crowds, maybe pick the other 2, because there's people queuing up just to take photos and stuff. I mean, it's not
tens of people here.
Yes, it's not too much, but it's
just know that there'll be people.
Yeah. Also, there's a restaurant behind us. If you want to enjoy the view with lesser crowds, you can just sit down at the restaurant. But on the way out, you can also find a few restaurants, and it's really nice spots. You can I don't know, sit down and like have a drink or eat or.
So even if just by a few years, Granada was under Moorish rule for longer than the rest of Andalusia, I'm not sure if that's the reason, but this city, I feel like has the largest influence of them all so far. It's not just the streets, it's everything. Like for example, in this area, obviously we are now in Albaicín, the Moorish city, but there's so many different types of Arabic restaurants. So we've seen Syrian, we've seen Lebanese, Palestinian, Moroccan, Lebanon. There's just so many, so many. Alright, we made it home. We actually are staying quite close to the old town center, I guess, so very convenient. We'll leave some images of this place right at the end of the video if you want to check it out, and link in the description as well, so don't forget that. Two quick things I just want to say about Granada. I finally figured out the whole free tapas that comes with the drink thing. So we stopped for a nightcap and we got a beer and a wine, and together they were €7, and they had a list of available tapas. And for some reason they didn't have a price, and I was like, okay, how does that work? So I chose two, and they just brought those as part of the price. So we paid €7 for two drinks and a portion of tapa each. So if you were to go out in a couple, €15, you get two drinks each and 4 tapas for the two of you. That's almost kind of like dinner. I feel like that's a great deal.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, because we've been obviously seeing a lot of young people around Granada as we walk today.
Yeah, more than in other cities in Andalusia.
And turns out it's because there's a huge university here, University of Granada, that has about 50 to 60,000 students in a town of just over 200,000. So at least 1 in 4 people here are students of that university. And that kind of ties in with the whole free tapas with the drinks.
Yeah.
It's affordable. It's right next to the Sierra Nevada mountains. It's close to the beach. It's Spain. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's a great alternative for anyone who comes here. Also a big Erasmus center right here in Granada. So a lot of people come just for, half a year or a year.
Yeah, Erasmus meaning people from other countries can come here and study here.
Yeah, like exchange students.
Yeah. And yeah, the nighttime is very vibrant, but also very tame. It's not like crazy.
Yeah.
It's
not
pleasant.
a club.
Yeah.
It's just...
It reminds me of Bari a bit.
Yeah. That was day 1 for us. We're going to go get some sleep. We're waking up early tomorrow. We had a whole bunch of things planned for tomorrow, culminating with the big thing tomorrow.
First thing in the morning, we came to Churrería Alhambra to have some breakfast, some typical breakfast. And I think this is a very touristy spot.
Oh, yeah.
However, it's full of people. They also have outdoor seating. So, service is great so far. And we got some churros, which are typical for Granada. They're a bit different. I think they're bigger. I think that's the difference, with chocolate. And we got 2 cortados, and we got a tostada with jamon, cheese, avocado, everything to share. So the tostada came, and it's humongous. I'm not sure where to start. It has this typical tomato paste, and as I said, avocado, jamon, and cheese, and it looks delicious.
you deconstructed that perfectly.
So far, the tomato paste is really good. Good. So this is probably the right way to eat it. Everything is falling.
But it is really good.
It is really good, yeah.
The main reason why we're here, the churros. I like it. Again, you can tell it's not really a dessert. It's sweet, but it's not a dessert. So that portion was really large, both the churros and the actual tostada. And I think what happens in most cases, in most cities, in places like this that are fairly central, touristy, you know, like places where, well, tourists always go, really. What happens usually, you also get overcharged, I feel like. But over here, prices are really good. We paid for the churros, the huge tostada, 2 coffees and everything. It was like 15 euros or something like that. Actually not bad.
And the food was good.
Yeah, the food was good. Service was nice.
Yeah, very efficient.
All right, so at least we didn't get scammed in a touristy place. It was just touristy. That was the first round of food for today. We have several, as always. Next, we have our first round of culture. Okay, we are now in Catedral de Granada. €7 to get in, and probably the best spent €7 in terms of churches so far. And it's so different to everything else that we've seen so far. Obviously, this was built after the Reconquista. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella wanted something that was different, that symbolized a new start, new life, a new Spain. And that's why there's so much light in this cathedral. Everything is white, whereas most cathedrals in Spain seem to be a bit dark, dim, maybe a bit Gothic. This one is so different, and I'm not talking about the size because it's just so grand. Absolutely impressive.
The cathedral was initially planned as a Gothic cathedral, but because it took nearly 2 centuries to finish, it was redesigned in the Renaissance style. The enormous classical columns, elevated dome, and circular main chapel create an unusually open, bright, and monumental interior.
If you've come to Granada where the Moorish rule ended, this is where it actually all ends. So this is a side entrance into the cathedral. It's the Royal Chapel of Granada. And this is where King Ferdinand II and Queen Isabella I are buried. They wanted to be buried here in Granada because, according to them, this was their biggest achievement in life, liberating Spain from the Moorish rule. And actually in here, they have some of the most beautiful tombs that I've probably ever seen. Somehow I was able to see photos taken by people on Google reviews, although they have a very strict rule of no photo, no video inside, hence why we're not going. So this is a separate entrance with a separate €7 per person entrance fee. But if you're in Granada and you're into history of any kind, this is where the story ends. We're not going in because obviously we can't film, and we have an appointment at the Alhambra very soon, so let's get going.
Granada has a very old tradition of ceramics and pottery, and throughout the old town you'll find shops selling beautifully made pieces that still reflect the city's artistic heritage. We ended up buying a couple of beautiful ceramic pomegranate-themed coasters. Granada actually means pomegranate in Spanish, and although the true origin of the city's name is still debated, the fruit has become one of its most recognizable symbols.
Hungry?
No.
I am. We gotta eat something because we'll be in the Alhambra for many, many hours.
How many hours?
At least like 3 probably.
Many.
Okay, we're going to an institution here in Granada. We're going to a place called El Rincón de Julio. Apparently one of the best places to eat here. So, let's see. All right, food, very good.
Very good. Very cozy, very homey, and yeah, the tuna was absolutely delicious.
Really cool decor of the place as well. Very Andalusia, North African looking. Very nice. And I really like the Spanish omelette, although it was a little bit oily. That's why I'm only giving it a 9 out of 10. Taste-wise, it was delicious.
Well, olive oil is very important to this region, so yeah, I guess that's why. But yeah, highly recommend going there.
Quick pit stop. Okay, so we've been rushing ever since we left El Rincón de Julio to get to Alhambra. Our appointment is at 3:30 because we have a guided tour. But they said we should be there at 3. It is 3 minutes to 3 now, and we're almost there.
We couldn't find a taxi.
Yeah, we tried to find a taxi.
Because it was raining.
Rising above Granada, the Alhambra is a vast palace fortress and one of the greatest surviving monuments of Islamic architecture in Europe. For centuries, its walls, gardens, and royal chambers stood at the heart of the last Muslim kingdom in medieval Spain. The Generalife is a 13th century summer palace, country estate, and garden complex built by the Nasrid rulers. It was both a pleasure retreat and a productive estate. Granada's emirs used it as a countryside residence, but its gardens and vegetable plots also depended on sophisticated medieval irrigation engineering.
So we've been walking a bit around this summer house now.
And as you can see, we have glorious weather.
It's summer weather for the summer house.
So we are at a hammam now, and apparently when the Christians reconquered this bit of Spain, they destroyed 19-something% of all the hammams.
Yeah, the
which-
Turkish baths.
Yeah.
The Arab baths.
Yeah, so those were baths because they considered it a place of lust.
Yes.
So yes, so they were destroyed, and I think here in Granada 2 are remaining. I'm not sure, but yes, they were destroyed.
The biggest and still most important Arab bath in Granada is literally next door to the Teahouse we went to yesterday.
Yes.
So the Alhambra was built over 160 years overall, and when the Christians reconquered Granada and the whole of Spain, they loved Alhambra so much that they said that they're not going to destroy it. But the Pope at the time said, okay, if you don't want to destroy it, you don't want to destroy it, but you have to Christianize it. So along our visit, I think we'll see quite a few churches and chapels and all kinds of, sort of Christianized elements.
So once we got here, it started raining like hard, and we started the tour in the gardens, which is not ideal. And it's been, I think, kind of an hour since we started it, and we were very, very wet.
It's our very last day here, and this is the weather we have now at the end. Oh man, like this is the most important building in Spain. Literally the epilogue, the climax of this whole Andalusian trip for us, and this is our weather. I think also the most important part will be indoors. I really hope so. I think so. The Nasrid Palace, I think that's indoors. So other than the golden hue of the sun that we will be missing, I think at least it'll be indoors, so it won't matter too much that the weather is garbage outside. We entered the Nasrid Palaces. This is why you come here. Everything we've done so far, the Generalife, what they call the gardens, beautiful. The country house, beautiful. But this is why you come here. So we are now in the Court of the Myrtles. Gorgeous decorations everywhere. But this is supposed to be one of the places that offers the most symmetry, the most beautiful reflections in the water here in the middle. But it's raining and there's scaffolding, so not ideal, I would say. Anyway, let's move on.
At the heart of the Nasrid Palaces lies the Courtyard of the Lions, where more than 100 elegant marble columns surround a fountain carried by 12 marble lions. Water once flowed through narrow channels across the courtyard, cooling the air and filling the palace with gentle sound. Delicate arches, carved plasterwork, and shifting sunlight make the space feel almost weightless, a private royal retreat designed to evoke harmony, paradise, and the beauty of water. Using plaster, wood, and ceramic, Nasrid craftsmen created surfaces of extraordinary beauty and complexity. These walls were designed not only to be admired, but also to be read. Their intricate plasterwork weaves together pattern, poetry, and praise for the sultans, turning the palace into a space of beauty, political meaning, and spiritual symbolism. This is El Portal, one of the oldest surviving palace areas where gardens, carved arches, and still water blend almost seamlessly with the surrounding landscape. The arch portico, reflecting pool, and elevated viewpoints once offered the Nasrid court a peaceful retreat overlooking Granada.
we made it back home. It's been a long day.
Unfortunately, we were unable to vlog a lot today just because it rained almost non-stop and it got so cold at some point.
It got really cold.
Yeah, so Alhambra was amazing, but I feel like we could have enjoyed it more, if, especially the garden part, if it were a bit, not exactly sunny, just it rained non-stop. So after finishing with Alhambra, we took a taxi to the city center because it was really cold at some point. And we went to a restaurant. We got some sandwiches, which were amazing, especially the tiramisu. It was one of the best we've ever had. And not to mention the service. They were so
Really
warm
great,
and
great
really
place,
nice.
great
Yeah,
place.
great place. Highly recommend going there.
With that in mind, this is where our time here in Andalusia ends. It's been a great few weeks for us. We had a lot of fun. Overall, we're extremely pleasantly surprised with the area. I think it's a fantastic place to come, whether it's a family or just a couple or whatever.
Yeah, it's such good value for money.
Yeah.
The surrounding nature is so beautiful and it exceeded expectations for sure. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed our vlog here, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next one.